Happy Wednesday, everybody. Jim Williams and Sean Miller and Amedeus he's in the square below us, all here. And boys, it's a Wednesday. And normally, Wednesdays aren't too exciting, but today there's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, there's a bunch of games in different sports here coming up, and you got the NFL playoffs on the horizon here. A couple more days there. No midweek football here. No Thursday games again.
Right.
No college games. College basketball. I guess people's attention starts to turn to that maybe, but we got the boo doing the games at night for Capital Sports there, but I haven't watched too many games, to be honest. The college basketball.
I've watched a couple. I really Kansas looked good. I watched a little of their game last night, and they're playing well. They're the second-ranked team in the country, and I think, frankly, there's a lot of balance in college basketball these days. So the difference between a number 1 and a number, say, 8 or 9 isn't that much.
Well, yeah, you got the older kids back. Some of the teams that you got Gonzaga and
Mm-hmm.
Online and these teams with old players and Kentucky's with the young. I think it's interesting. Look, once again, I don't know. I don't really. I used to follow it religiously. I went to Final Fours and stuff, and now it's a little bit like some of these other sports. Whereas I'll start to tune in a little bit when February, tournament time, or start to really kind of focus more on it. I guess is. They're just for me, it's all mostly soccer, and then some of the stuff at night and stuff when I'm not covering games. So.
Well, when we're talking soccer, guys, what did you think of Felix joining Chelsea?
Is it going to help?
I don't know. I guess he's a good player, but it's only on loan.
Right.
For the year, he just signed a new athletic deal, so I don't understand what Chelsea's doing here. How many players they need in that position? It was a little weird. He's linked with United. I think most of that is that United needs, just wants to sign somebody, but he's not a 9 once again. And once again, you're not taking Marcus Pele Rashford out of the lineup. He scored 2 more goals. Again, he scored in 8 straight games.
He's your number 9, man. He is your number 9.
Look, he's going to probably end up being – he's such a terror on that side, but I like Garnacho there too. So, look, Felix is good, but, let me see if I can pull up.
Well, why would you rent a player?
Maybe they think they can get him, at the end of the deal. Maybe they say, Atletico Madrid, maybe you'll sell him for 110 million. This guy just keeps, he just keeps
showing up.
Chelsea just keeps buying players. If I'm if you look at the Chelsea squad here, let's take a look. They got Christian Pulisic. They list as a midfielder. Kai Havertz, they list as a midfielder. He's not a midfielder. Hakim Ziyech, he plays. These guys all play in the same position. Raheem Sterling. So these guys are the same exact players. They keep signing the same players. Broa was a 9. He's out. He tore his ACL. Aubameyang's a bum.
Aubameyang.
Yeah, exactly. Aubameyang from the Bundesliga. Look, Felix will do something, I guess. I don't know. He's a good player, but now it's like, so now you're playing Sterling. They still don't have a person. They need a person to stand in the middle of the pitch and score goals in the box. It's the same. They need, look, Erling Haaland is a the mold. Obviously, no one's Erling Haaland, but they need that kind of like player, 50% of that player, whatever. But they just, I don't know. I don't get it. Once again, like I don't, United maybe could have used them and Arsenal could have used them, but they have these players already. So
You know what it almost seems like Chelsea is doing to me?
What?
It feels like, so Todd Bowley just bought this team. He doesn't really quite know what the needs are and what's going on, but he finds himself in the middle of the table right now, right around like 9th, 10th place with half the season left. He doesn't know how to fix the team, but he knows other teams higher up in the Premier League are looking for players to fill needs. And it's almost like anybody that any other team has any player that any other team has scouted to fill a need, he's just offering the money to buy them up and keep them away from the other Premier League teams to try and hurt their
so he's
team
buying
more.
him to keep him away from others.
It almost seems like that because at this point, he's just buying the same players.
Yeah, these like hoarding. Yeah, they're not. You know what? It reminds me of Manchester United. In the last when they just had no approach. Like they're just like, oh, we'll buy this guy. We'll buy this guy. We'll buy this guy. Like,
and then throw whatever at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, but it's once again. I mean, you can't. Excuse me. The problem with hey Bill, happy Man City Day, guys. Your team looks good, Sean. Yeah, finally. We'll see. Yeah, Manchester City plays today against Southampton. The other game is pretty interesting. I think this draw is going to. I am begging Newcastle and Manchester City would be a perfect Oil State draw. That would be semifinal, the two-legged tie, and then let Manchester United play Nottingham Forest or Wolves over 2 legs.
Someone's getting screwed in that draw.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind taking, I wouldn't mind Newcastle either, just not City.
It's okay. If your theory is right, Sean, City will get dog and pony, so either Nottingham or the Wolves, and you'll probably end up getting Newcastle.
City's been getting some tougher draws. Look, they got Arsenal now in the FA Cup 4th round. They had Chelsea. All of a sudden, City's starting to get tougher draws now. So maybe
the tides are turning.
Yeah, maybe the tides are. Manchester United had Charlton in here, and then they got Reading. So maybe the Fergie Association is back. So we'll see. But yeah, look, it's. I don't know. Chelsea, they're not any good, man. He's gonna spend money like crazy, and eventually it'll work. But they need to change the whole squad at this point. I think Chelsea's behind. It's obvious to say this, but they're 10th in the table, but they're clearly behind these 5 teams. These 6 teams here. Brighton might be better than them, might have a better squad, but how long that stays, Casado and all these guys are going to move on at some point. So probably this summer. I just need Casado to stay at Brighton until the summer so United can get him. But it's Chelsea now is in danger, I think, a little bit of becoming like Manchester United was for years there. Do you like Nottingham Forest over the Wolves? I'll let you want to talk about that.
It's tough to say because the Wolves beat Liverpool in the last cup match, and I don't care what anybody says, the Wolves won that match. But you've been calling on this Wolves team. They're playing better.
Lopetegui's a good coach.
I was going to say Lopetegui is really turning things around, and he was livid in that cup match against Liverpool. He knows his side won. So it's all a matter of, because now they have to do the replay there. So it's all a matter of, do they want, knowing the league's coming up this weekend, do they want to try for this one or, focus on beating Liverpool? Because I think they're going to be at home for that one. So the last one was in Anfield, right? So
yeah, that'll be next Tuesday. They play West Ham on Saturday, which is a huge relegation match. And then they play next Tuesday in the FA Cup.
and Nottingham plays Leicester. So at that point, that could even be a big relegation match.
Yeah, no, right. Leicester. This is the big weekend for games because Everton, we said United plays City, Arsenal plays Spurs. All those teams are top 5. Liverpool plays Brighton. Those are 2, 6th and 7th.
Well, Brighton tied 3-3 with Liverpool at Anfield, and that was right after Brighton had lost Potter, right? So
yeah. This is a huge. Newcastle plays Fulham. All the top 8 teams are all playing. It's interesting how that works out. Like, no one knew how the table was going to be then, but all of a sudden the top 8 teams are playing, and then all the bottom teams are playing. Like, how does that happen?
They know, Sean. They know
exactly.
Only the shadow knows.
Aston Villa leads, Everton, Southampton, Nottingham Forest, Leicester, Wolves, West Ham. Brentford, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Crystal Palace. Those are really the only games where it's like mid-table teams. The other games are all the top of the table teams or bottom of the table teams. So this is a huge weekend. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see like what Wolves do here. Do they rotate? I think Forest has obviously a bigger squad because they signed 25 people. But I don't know, Bill. That's a tough game for me. I don't know which way you go. Do you like that game at all or not really?
No, not really. I mean, I focused more on the French league and the Super Cup today. I didn't really like these two. Even yesterday with the Carabao Cup matches, like it's tough to find value on some of that. Obviously, your Man United destroyed. Should have just taken the -1.5 there. Maybe that's the way to go with City today.
They needed 2 goals in the last, 2 goals in injury time basically to do it, but they dominated the game.
Yeah. But your Rashford, man, he didn't play for most of the game, and then as soon as Casemiro and Rashford came on, the whole game changed. You're playing these. They tried to. I think he did the right thing. He got him some rest. For City today, I think City has to go a little stronger because Southampton's not terrible. I don't know who Southampton's going to play. They might just want to be out, but. They need to focus on the league. Like they're literally bottom of the table.
I would take City -1.5 today. Maybe put it in a parlay with one of the EFL or one of the League Cup, the Super Cup games. We'll get to those. But it's interesting. So and then what? So Jim, what are you watching the league on today?
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to watch, but there is some parity there. I always say the first top 3 or 4 teams are quality teams.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about the French league. PSG and look, Lens is not going to. I mean, I doubt they will. I mean, maybe they will. It's happened in the past, but Lens has to be basically perfect, and they just don't. I don't think they score enough goals sometimes, especially in the away matches. But they're in it. And if they can make if they can make a Champions League, it'd be interesting. But yeah, look, I mean, Marseille, Rennes, Monaco, Lorient, like these teams. The one thing I do like about the French league compared to some of these others, you get like a Montpellier winning the league in 2012. Giroud was the main guy. You get Lille, winning the league. You get you get Monaco winning the league every once in a while. You get some of these teams. You get a team like Rennes and Lyon obviously was so good for so long. You get some of these teams that kind of pop up, and these games sometimes in the middle of the pack are really interesting.
So
Yeah, I mean, there's people. The one thing I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
no, it's okay. Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say real quick that the one thing that I've enjoyed is that uh, they they play close games. They
Yeah.
play, you don't see 4-0 blowouts or anything like that. But Sean, to your point, really the only team that could put could put 3 or 4 up easily, obviously, is Paris Saint Germain. So,
Yeah.
but everything else is they're packed in there and they play. I mean, if you want to watch good soccer, you watch good. It's good soccer. That's all I can say.
Yeah, you go. You look here. You look through these results here in the last round. I mean, a lot of goals: 2-1, 2-1, 3-2, 3-1. There's a lot of goals in these games. These games are, when you 4-2, 3-2. I mean, if you like goals, there's not a lot of 0-0s. You see one here,
No.
Troy. There's not a lot of 0-0s. There's not a lot of 1-0s. There's a lot of games that are 1-1, 2-1. So.
Right.
To me, I mean, the league is pretty good
And competitive.
Yeah, no, it's competitive. The highlight of the games today might be Lille Brest. The Lille Brest game could be interesting, but Lille is minus 115. They're taking on Brest. More of a leg person myself, but that's not in my league. But no, it's there's you look and as a fan, as a bettor, these games are you don't see the just quickly let me just show you, for example, these Premier League games this week are interesting because they're so close. But they go to next week and you see the minus 305. Like City is minus 305 against Tottenham. That's pretty.
Wow.
Pretty interesting. But when you look at these, these Ligue 1 games, you get a lot of, here this week, Reims against the Jaguars, plus 120, minus 115. You get some decent value, and you get some, favorites that are like minus 104, minus 113. I think the games are closer, and it's a little, bar PSG and Angers, but every game you have like a small favorite, minus 115, minus 122, minus
Well, the value, there's value there. That's
I think I think the thing with that is sometimes when I'm looking to play Foxy's here, Newcastle, they played well. But Foxy, maybe as someone who bets, soccer, football, I think you might be here. Are you? Do you find it easier to play these games where it's Monaco is minus 113 against Lorient? Like, would you rather play a team that's minus 113, or are you trying to, for example, here, you know what? I'll go to the Carabao Cup today. This Nottingham Forest, where you're getting plus 180 with both teams. Like, would you rather have the value, or would you rather have like? I just find it easier to handicap a game where it's Lille against Brest, and it's like, Lille is minus 115. And Amedeus, maybe your thoughts on that too. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, well, you definitely get a lot more value just because a lot of these French teams are very shaky on the road, I've noticed. And I think obviously the line is reflecting that. But yeah, definitely like Nottingham and Wolves, I couldn't tell you the motivation, the lineups in that game. I wouldn't even want to bother. I don't care that there's, value either side you take. I'd rather handicap a game like this. Like, there's a lot of table implications today with this French league, especially for those top 5, top 7 teams. And, getting a team like Lille against Brest has been terrible. And you're getting them almost at plus money there. So there's definitely some interesting ones. With the French league, I agree that there's a lot of parity, but I don't know. I don't know if PSG has it all locked up, Sean. I would have to say that I think there's a chance. You think Lens is maybe going to collapse, but even if they do have a collapse, we've seen PSG in the past obviously lose the league. Lille won it a few years ago.
Yep.
And I think PSG is going to be more focused on Champions League this year, especially with, guys like Mbappe and Messi. I think they're really going to be focused on the Champions League. And even if Lens does end up collapsing, now you got Marseille in the wings, who has really been starting to get hot. They've been in great form before the World Cup. They've come out and they've won all 3 matches after the World Cup. And, this Marseille team, not only do they have a lot of quality players, but they're out of Champions League and they missed the boat on the Europa League as well because they finished 4th in their group. So they really have nothing else to focus on this year. So I would actually look for Marseille as a dark horse in 3rd place right now. They're only 8 points behind PSG. If PSG were to slip up, I think Marseille's waiting in the wings to pass both them and Lens.
You know what? They haven't been playing fun soccer the last few weeks. They've had some fun games.
Yeah, they had like a 6-1 pounding right after the World Cup too. They just absolutely like destroyed.
Ouch.
Yeah, I think I think I'm trying to see how I put this. I think they could kind of keep in. I just don't think Lens is going to be able to score enough goals to stay with PSG. I think they can, as long as they keep the pressure on. They have to keep it within like 4 points. Like they got to keep winning. They can't slip up here. When PSG slips up, they have to win. They have to keep within striking distance or maybe get close to them. Lens not having any of those other games, I think will be pretty important for them. But they want to. The other problem is if Bayern Munich knocks PSG out of the Champions League, there's no way PSG is losing the league. So
I don't think Bayern's knocking PSG out.
No, I don't either. But I think it'll be pretty interesting there. But yeah, I think PSG will go through. I think PSG has a chance to win the whole thing. I think they're pretty good shout. But yeah, when you look at these games today. This French league, there's a bunch of. I know you said you looked at it. Which games are you kind of looking at?
Well, I know you just absolutely love their MLS style scheduling today. All 10 games on Wednesday, half at 1, half at 3. So I know there's no better way to schedule games than that. But
sure. Who would possibly want to watch it?
Yeah, it's not like I have to have 6 screens at 1 o'clock watching all these different games. But I don't
watch a Sunday ticket.
I don't even think I have enough screens, honestly. Like, there's gonna be games I'm not gonna watch today, but there's some interesting value today, and I think because you're noticing a lot of these besides PSG, but really there's no value in minus 500. I don't like the way PSG's been playing lately. I know Angers sits at the bottom of the table, but Sean, do you like the way PSG has been playing lately? Like they barely beat Strasbourg. Something's wrong with them right now.
Messi's back, though, I think. Yeah, Bill, I think Messi is back. Look, I don't know how I don't know how he's going to play after the break. You imagine, who knows? I mean, he's been eating and drinking and doing all this stuff. So
World Cup hangover.
Yeah, you just don't know. I mean,
it's like a god in Argentina now.
I do think at some point, like they're going to start amping up as they get towards, the Champions League and the cups and stuff like that. Foxy, League One is so hit and miss with teams like Lyon, Monaco, Nice, who just sacked Favre. I really only bet League One with low stake parlays. League Two, however, cashing all season. Yeah, no, it's Foxy's like the master of the second division.
I was going to say any second league in Netherlands, Portugal.
He's the only one that knows it.
Well, look, that's the thing, though. Like, I mean, when you talk about, this sport in regards to betting. And it's not just this. I mean, you talk about NCAA college basketball. I mean, everybody wants, give me a line on the North Carolina Virginia game. Well, I can't sometimes when Bellarmine's playing whatever, these the West Coast Conference teams, UC Santa Cruz. Like you might know, like, hey, listen, the point guard's out or something like this, or they've been playing well, or some of the smaller leagues that people don't pay attention to are the ones that sometimes are easier to handicap because and like obviously Foxy is he knows these leagues, so it's
Well, Sean, to your point, one of the best leagues to bet in college basketball is Mountain West. I mean, there's a lot of parity out there, but there's you got Colorado State has good teams usually. You've obviously got San Diego State has good basketball. There's a ton of good basketball out west, and nobody pays attention to it.
It's interesting, Bill. Mbappe's not even listed to score today, so I guess he's not playing.
Can't be on the field with Messi at the same time.
In their contract
after that final.
Messi back, but no Mbappe. So no, Mbappe's not playing today.
So then I definitely want no part in PSG. Like, why would you even
waste your money and time?
Because we don't, as Sean said, we don't know how Messi's going to play after, weeks of eating and celebrating and being, having him carried everywhere around Argentina.
Here's the problem with this too. Here's the problem with this team. Like Messi and Neymar, Ekitike is going to fill in and be fine, whatever. But if Mbappe's not happy, which clearly he's not, he wants to go. I mean, just Mbappe. If you're listening, I know you watch the show. Just hold out to the summer. We'll come get you with our new owners. All right, Dubai. We will come and take you to the theater of dreams,
to the promised land.
Yeah. Bill's talking about how you always have to lay 2.5. Yeah, look, I mean, there's going to be some issue. That's the only problem. I mean, you see it with France, the team. I mean, they'll implode. Like it's just the culture there. So like that would be my only concern with them in the Champions League. But
is Pablo Sarabia starting? Yeah, you don't want any part in PSG today.
Yeah, they're not.
Stay away.
They're not.
I don't know. He screws the flow up every time I've seen him play in this lineup.
There you go. The PSG's missing 6 players: Mbappe, Hakimi, Verratti, Sanchez, Nuno Mendes, Kimpembe. You want no part of that game today.
Those are some big names missing.
They could still win the game 3-0, but I don't know. I think there's better value in some of these other games.
If they win today, I agree, they could definitely win 3-0, but it'll be based purely off the fact that Angers is so inept as a team versus PSG actually going out there and dominating the game. I think they're gonna have trouble with the flow of their attack, especially if Sarabi's in there. He always finds a way to muck it up somehow. So I definitely don't want PSG today, but that wasn't even, honestly, I kind of just glossed over. That was the one game I glossed over because I saw the minus 500 and I was like, nope. Not taking minus 2.5, not taking anything.
They're minus 600 right now, and all those players are missing. Look, I mean, that's got 1-0. I mean, but once again,
I think they were 700 yesterday, so maybe it dropped a bit.
They could win. Ekitike could have a hat trick today. I just don't, you just don't know. But you just kind of you see Lens playing Strasbourg. Strasbourg is
bottom of the table.
Wow. And that's away. I know Lens isn't as good on the road, but Strasbourg I think has not won at home.
And this is why I was saying there's a lot of other value other than the PSG, because if you look right now, you got Lille on the road, Rennes on the road, Monaco on the road, Lens on the road, Marseille. That's number 2 to 7 in the table right now. 2nd place to 7th place. All these teams on the road at pretty much, anywhere from plus 100 to minus 120. And that's where your value is. You got to find which of these teams in the top 7 spots are going to, make a move today.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Yeah. Just as a fan of the league, been cashing on Ekitike anytime goals lately. Yeah, no, Bill or Foxy, that's kind of why I said that. Bill, if you're looking for that, Ikatike, he's gonna, he's Mbappe light, but he scores, man. He scores goals when he's in there. So they're gonna make chances for him. So that might be a decent play.
And there's it's quality stuff. I don't see what you're right. That's simple. Just set it up and play.
Yeah, and we haven't even really talked about, and then there's the huge game today is in Riyadh, and that is the Super Cup. So Real Madrid is playing Valencia, and Real Betis plays FC Barcelona tomorrow. The lines are basically the same for both games. Real Madrid and Barcelona are both minus 200. I'm to be honest, I'm more inclined after the loss this weekend to play Real Madrid at -1 against Valencia. Let me just look at this table here. Valencia is a little bit further down the table than Real Betis is. Betis won the cup last year. I think Betis is a little bit more of a dangerous team for Barcelona. It doesn't. The thing that's weird is, for these Super Copas, they set it up so it's Real Madrid and Barcelona, and a lot of times it doesn't end up being Real Madrid and Barcelona. I think it's. Let me see the history here. Supercopa de España. Since they changed the way it is, last year Real Madrid beat Atletico Bilbao. Barcelona got knocked out. The year before, Atletico Bilbao beat Barcelona. Real Madrid beat Atletico Madrid. Barcelona beat Sevilla. So the last time Real Madrid and Barcelona had played was 2017, and the time before that it was 2012. So they set it up so it's, hey, we want Real Madrid and Barcelona. It doesn't work out. Usually one of the teams loses. So it's not, it's interesting to me here. To me, the team I would probably say has a better chance to lose is Barcelona, because Betis, once again, is a better team. Valencia has been struggling here. So, I would be more inclined today to take Real Madrid -1. You see, I don't know who they're going to, I don't know who's going to play. I would probably bet Benzema to score.
Supposed to be a strong lineup, I think. I saw Benzema, Vinicius, Valverde.
Yeah, Benzema to scores -139. Vinicius Jr. there. I think they bounce back. He's called Pua's sick note for a reason, Foxy. Pua's sick note. He's always injured, man. Foxy, I know you've been around. Remember when Ryan Giggs came through? Excuse me, and he was always hurt. And when he's kind of in those years, his hamstrings is always hamstrings injuries, and then when he got later on, he had the when he wasn't out doing all the other stuff off the pitch, he had all the he went to yoga and he did all this stuff and stretching, and all of a sudden he was playing more games. This guy Pulisic is constantly hurt, man. Pua sick note. That's what I call him, and he's just always banged up, and this is why no one will take a chance on the guy. I mean, it's interesting, this may be another reason why they got João Felix, but he's going to be. I guess I don't know what his injury is here. Maybe his legs or whatever, his hamstrings. I mean, he's always banged up. So, but getting back to this Super Cup game today, Real Madrid probably decent play here at -1 Asian handicap. I'm not going to take them at -1.5, -1, -120. I think just cover yourself. I don't know. Would you say Real Madrid? You think it's going to be Real Madrid Barcelona?
I don't know what it's going to be. It's tough to say because, Real Madrid and Barcelona haven't been playing great in the league lately. But I don't know. I have this feeling that Real Madrid will get up for this game. They're supposed to start a somewhat stronger lineup. And as you said, coming off the loss to Villarreal in their last one, they really didn't play great. They're probably going to be looking for the win here, obviously. But I think, maybe even both teams to score at -125 is not a bad play because, Real Madrid, the defense, they've been slipping up lately. And this Valencia team, they haven't been as bad as they were at the beginning of the season. They're starting to turn things around. Maybe you want to call Edinson Cavani the X factor. I mean, scoring goals was always an issue for Valencia, so they seem to be playing, much better on the attack anyway. But I don't know if I would just chalk it up to Cavani coming in. But I think they're going to be able to score a goal in this one. Really, is the big thing there. So
both sides definitely will score a goal in this game.
Yeah, and you're getting pretty good value. I mean, -125 is not awful. That's like taking a money line on a team that's favored by like 1.5, 2 points.
Mm-hmm. Not a bad deal. So okay, Super Cup away. Foxy's back. Depends on the lineups, but wouldn't rule out.
Yeah, I agree, Foxy. I like this Betis team. If they play a strong lineup, and once again, they set this cup up so you get the classic goals, and it doesn't work out. I just think I think Real Betis has a real good chance tomorrow, and then live dog here at +500. I mean, you see the +280 to go through. Double chance. Real Betis or draw is +163. I mean, I think there's multiple ways you can kind of bet that game.
I think the best way might be, take the +1. So even if Betis loses, you have the goal in your pocket, right? Because Barcelona is what, -200 right now?
Something like that.
So the +1 shouldn't be an awful price. And I agree, this
102,
This Betis team is great defensively. Even if Barcelona finds a way to beat them, it won't be by much. It's not going to be a blowout, especially when Barcelona, they tied at home to Espanyol the other day. I forget what their last match was. I'm drawing a blank on it, but I know they haven't been playing well, kind of like Real Madrid. They're falling out of form a bit, which is, good for Real Madrid because it seems like they've both fallen out of form a bit in the same time. And
they beat Atletico 1-0.
Oh, yeah, they scored an early goal, and then that one sat. I do remember now. I was on the under in that one.
And then they got a couple red cards.
And then they sat on the lead. So this is what I mean. It's like Barcelona's not, they're not attacking great. I think I know Lewandowski was actually missing in that one due to, I think, yellow cards or something like that.
Yeah.
But
I remember the game because you were all over it. It's like, wait a minute, how did this happen? How did the red card though? It was all kinds of crazy going on.
Yeah. So definitely some of those matches can get crazy in the last 5 minutes. I was watching the Fenerbahce Galatasaray one the other day, and you could tell the entire time the ref he didn't want to give a red card. He keeps pulling guys to side. He's like, you need to stop. Stop doing what you're doing. But it's tough. It's tough to keep. Sometimes you just got to give the card.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing, but hey, you knew the job was dangerous when you took it. So, any other games that you guys want to jump on?
I think that's pretty much it. I mean, Coppa Italia.
No, I watched that Inter Milan yesterday. They were awful. They scored the tying goal in like the 88th minute and then won it in extra time. But they were atrocious.
And these games are tough to call. I mean, they haven't played much. I mean, you're still, these cup games. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'll be interested to see what happens with the Bundesliga when they come back. because they've been off for about 3 months. At this
Yeah,
point.
we were talking about that. So
Yeah.
they lost where they were going.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I think.
Yeah, what? Still 9 days away for that? Oh my God, we're gonna be in a whole nother week of soccer, and they're
Right.
just gonna be coming back.
Yeah, I don't understand what they're doing. To be honest, I mean, talk about shooting yourself in the foot. It's just it's crazy. How do you not come back?
Their mentality is like, oh, it's fine. We'll play an extra month. We're still getting our month off in between. All right, you're not taking that away from us, right? We don't care if we have to go into June.
It's like they have a spring version of Oktoberfest.
Did you see that? Did you see the MLS schedule is out?
No, I didn't see it.
Do we even want to see it? Do we need to
February
rile
25th. February 25th. There's a 4:30 game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 games at 7:30. 2 games at 8:30. 1 game at 9:30. 2 games at 10:30.
Thank God for that single 4:30 game. I don't know what I would do with
And
my
then
life
one,
in the
and then
afternoon.
one game the next, and then 1 game on Sunday at 8:00 at night. Like, come on, man.
Who's got the
The solo game, Sounders,
Yeah.
Colorado.
or a cop?
The early game is Nashville and New York City. St. Louis plays Austin. St. Louis first game.
St. Louis, I was gonna say that's an expansion team, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Actually, to be honest, St. Louis is a very good soccer team.
Yes.
I'm just sick of the expansions. Like, just put the
But
promotion.
there are 29 teams.
And then on March 4th, maybe they're going to change this for TV, but then the second day, every game is on March 4th, and they're like 80% of them are at 7:30 and 8:30.
Well, all the games, with the exception, there's 15 games going to be aired on Fox. The rest of them, all of them, will be on Apple Plus.
The problem is, like, that's what we're talking about. Apple Plus is going to be $100, whatever it is. Well, I don't understand. You're playing every game at the same time. Like, I can only watch.
Right.
Like, I have 3 TVs. Well, I'm not tuning into 50 games. I mean, I don't understand why they don't spread this stuff out. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like they're so scared to go up against like baseball and like.
Oh, people would rather watch soccer than baseball. They're both boring enough sports, I think.
No, I don't get it, to be honest.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Nobody called and asked me. So
It's weird because, like, the thing is, like, it sounds like a good deal, but really it's only targeting Americans as well. Because, like, me, I'm not gonna have to watch my games on Apple Plus. There's different streaming rights up here, and I'll have to find the games somewhere else. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's like you make this deal, and then you're still only confining yourself to a certain amount of people. Obviously, it's your league, but like at the same time, if you want to expand that outward to other countries and get them into MLS, it's somebody else is carrying the rights. It's a different thing. So
back
even
in the
with
day,
Amazon thing too.
Yeah.
For
back
things
in the day when the old NASL was around, you had Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday games in those windows. So it worked out for them. They had you could see the quality games, and of course they didn't have 29 teams in the in the NASL. So
and growing, still expanding.
Yeah. To where?
It's going to get to a point where, they should do what Sean does. If you really want to expand that much, put 20 teams on each side, make an Eastern and a Western league,
and
just have them not play each other until the MLS Cup.
That'd be fine with me.
Because then that would give a little more meaning to the supporter shield, as Sean's been trying to touch on. I know, like, he feels the supporter shield is just like useless at this point because it doesn't matter if you finish 1st or 8th place as long as you make it into a playoff spot and find your way into the MLS Cup.
Yeah, it drives me nuts. I mean, you win you win the league after all these games, and they're just like, here they throw a frisbee at you, and then like hey, here you go. And then like everybody say, oh, hey, LAFC. I mean, LAFC won both this year, but like, hey, LAFC, congratulations. You won. Here's your Frisbee. Sorry, you lost in the first round of the play. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's like giving the FA Cup winner more credibility than the league. I mean, it's so ass backwards here. It's everything is about the playoffs, and it's,
Yeah.
This is the reason why people get mad when these guys, the American owners, go over to England and say like, oh, we need to do this and this and this, and they're like, don't Americanize it. Like, look, just it's like this everywhere in the world except for like here. They don't want to do this. I just don't get it.
What?
Like Mexico has the first half, the second half, the winners play. Like the winners of the first half and the second half play. But like, you already won. You won the first half. You won the league. Like, then it's a separate cup.
It's funny. Even there was a time, and I don't know if they still do it, in minor league baseball, where they do that.
AAA does it.
Yeah. So you have a first and a second half, and you have, one team may win the first one, and if they don't, if the one team wins both sides of it, well, then they get the championship.
Yeah, double A does that. They let the two teams get in, so it's kind of, it used to be first and second. Now they've split it into first because minor league baseball, half the time you're moving team. The teams can look completely different. Like the Thunder, the team in the first half and the second half would be two different teams. Like sometimes you're so strong in the first half and everybody gets moved to AAA and then you stink. Sometimes you're stink in the first half or you're just okay. And then all of a sudden people get moved up from high A and all of a sudden the team is really good. And then they wouldn't make the playoffs. But at the end of the year, they're the best team in the league. So and they wouldn't get a chance. So they changed that, which was good. So
it's funny. They, baseball in minor league baseball nowadays, if your AA team is closer to your, to where you are, you'll see a lot of guys who probably would have been playing in AAA, but are playing a AA so they can get, so they can get to town quick if they need somebody or if somebody's being rehabbed.
Yeah. At Foxy, Argentina and Brazil changed to a more European style league, much better now, 100%. It's, you got to, I mean, look, it is what you got to kind of be on the same, I know the weather is different, but you kind of got to be on the same thing there. I think some calendar at some point, like the U.S. is just they're playing March to November, they got to just, I don't understand. Oh, we can't play in December. It's too cold. What are you talking about? Like they play in Germany, it snows. Like the European climates are higher than they're higher in longitude, whatever. Like, I just don't get it. Just play. They're so scared to go up against these things at this point. Like, look, just change make it like the same calendar.
Right. It seems like it would make more sense.
Yeah. Play August, play August to May. I don't know. It's just, you're going up against, we don't want to go up against football, but you're going up against football anyway in the most important part of the season. Like, I don't get it. Like, if you do August to May, the most important part of the season, what are you going up against? Like nothing. Baseball, like, whatever. The start of the basketball. Nobody cares about that stuff anymore. Like, just you go up against that. But what do we know about anything?
Well, we're just here trying to help.
Someone will listen one day.
That's right. Our buddy Mbappe will be there. He'll say, you know what? They're saying it right.
Bill asks about Lille, Rennes, and Monaco parlay today.
I like Lille and Monaco, but Rennes worries me a little bit on the road. They're missing Martin Terrier now, who's been one of their more better offensive players. And if you're really looking for a third, I would honestly, Marseille probably, they need to win this game to put pressure on Lens and hope PSG starts falling. Like I said, Marseille's been in great form. I know they're a little steeper, but that's actually come down a bit from minus 150 to around minus like 138 right now. So I would swap Rennes with Marseille.
Lyon, Monaco, and Marseille pays about 5 to 1. Not terrible.
Yeah, Rennes just worries me on the road. But I mean, like, if you look at the other two, like Leo's playing Brest. Brest has been awful. They're not one of the worst teams in the league, but like pretty close to relegation. Yeah, and like they've just been an awful form lately. And then Lorient's actually been pretty good at home, but like I just think Monaco is a better team. They're rested and they're going to be starting. They're going to be starting some solid names today. So I would think Monaco. They also have the best second best away record in Ligue 1 at 6-1-1. So, this Monaco team, they're good on the road. And then obviously, Marseille, Troyes has been pretty bad lately too.
So if you're looking for value, that's it. All right, boys and girls, that just about does it. Any final thoughts before we get out of here? Big day tomorrow.
Let's go make some money.
There you go. All right. Have a good day, everybody. And we will see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern Time.